we'll be flying together, and he'll be getting ready to go to put his sunshades on, or his shades on, and pop a bunch of drugs so he can knock himself out. A real pill to fly with, by the way. Just a real, used to be fun in our youth. I mean, he barely gets in the seat before he is out like a light.
Hey, brother, you're no walk in the park yourself.
But I don't fall asleep.
I know, that's the problem.
I'm annoying for the same reasons why I've always been annoying.
I know.
Matt has changed his game. So, you know what I'm saying? I deliver what is expected of me.
I know, but I'm saying, please, dear God, fall asleep.
I can't. I get so mad at Matt that I get a surge of adrenaline.
Even when I try to stay awake for Rich, I can't do it. I'm like, look, Rich, I downloaded 5 movies. I'm gonna stay awake, I'm gonna drink a cup of coffee. I set up the whole thing, right? There's a computer, check it out, Rich, have you seen this? Let's talk about directing, this is cool, right? I put it on, I press play, he presses play on his movie, and I go. I cannot stay awake, it's impossible. Now, an airplane, a thing that I used to fear is now it's the best place on earth for me. Once you have a kid and then you get on an airplane, you're like, solitude.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, Robbie. You're saying we have a lot of flights together, the 3 of us coming up. Let's stay awake and keep Matt awake. I hear you. I hear you. No. And that's the new challenge. Operation Keep Matt Awake.
You guys go to Australia twice a year, so you have these long flights together. Yeah. And I'm doing it with you this year.
You know what, though? On my flight home from Australia, Matt's not on that plane.
You know?
It's just you and me.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, he's on a different plane.
Check the number.
On the way back.
On the way back?
Yeah.
You know that?
Oh.
Right.
You know that'd be great.
Well, here's the thing. I was gonna get on the same flight as Rich, and I thought, the hell would I do that for?
This is me flying with Rich. He's me, I'm Rich.
What are you watching?
Dr. 3.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's great.
Cool. This is what I'm watching.
Cool.
Did you feel that?
No.
Turbulence. It moves my earphones. Nothing bugs me more. My earphones, get off the earphones.
My favorite thing is I move the earphones, and then when I put them back, I make sure to aim for the eye.
He does. He goes,
That's so great.
You know, we've been working a long time together when it just becomes like airplane story comedy. It's like we could write a book about the shit that happens on airplanes.
And I do that, and it'd be like if if your very expensive headphones broke, I would replace them because I need to be able to do that thing. You switch to in-ear headphones, that don't work for me. You know what I mean?
Note to self, switch to
in-ear
headphones.
What's next that you want to cross off your bucket list?
Bucket list.
Bucket list cross off. But you know, I could jump out of a plane.
If I was sitting next to you, messing with your earphones.
With a parachute, yeah. Next time I fly with him, I might jump out of the plane. No, with a parachute, I might do that. I might do it.
I can do that.
Or my second thing.
Both of you need to shut up. Don't do it. It's a terrible thing. I did it, and I'll never even think about doing it again.
Really?
Are you kidding me? Do you think about the concept of what you're saying? Jump from the sky from a plane with a man attached to your back in control of your life.
What does he look like?
This is great.
What's he wearing?
It's a horrible idea.
Is he hot?
He was hot. He was very, very attractive. He was very attractive. And so attractive and in such good shape and in such close proximity I could feel the ripple of his abs on my back, and that's not all.
You just lost me. You had me, then you lost me.
Here, let me sell it for you, right? So you get to the airport, and upon arriving at the airport, they give you a jumpsuit, and you're like, wow, cool jumpsuit, cool goggles, cool helmet. Oh, here's your living will. Will you sign this before you get on the plane? They give you a living will.
Okay.
To sign off.
Sure.
And then you're like, all right, whatever. This is just normal, right? It's super safe. You're like, yeah, it's super safe. I've never had anything go wrong. And you're like, oh, I guess nothing will ever go wrong jumping out of a plane. You go out to the runway, and you see the airplane, and you're like, this? Where do I'll sit right here, and then you then crouch down, and then the other 8 people in the 3-person plane then spoon you. You get one in the front, and you get one in the back.
Happy birthday, Robbie.
I'm in. You had me at spoon.
They close the plastic clear door on the side of the airplane. That's like, a piece of plexiglass, like a 1/4 inch thick. And then they take off in your 6-passenger, 4-passenger Cessna that every gust of wind feels like your plane is on the inside of a tornado. It's like, here we go, and they lift off, and the first gust of wind, which is like, the whole plane goes, the propeller's going, and you're like, all right, this is normal. And you get up there, and then they whip open that door. They whip open that door, and you look out, and all you see is clouds below you, and you go, shit, I'm above the clouds right now. Get up to the thing, and they go, 3! And throw you out. Because they never finish the countdown because too many people get scared. So they go 3, and they push you out. And until you hit what's called terminal velocity, you feel like you're on a never-ending drop of a roller coaster, right? When your stomach goes, so that lasts like 30 seconds, and you're like, is it gonna stop soon? Like, you're good. And then all of a sudden you hit this thing, and then you're like, you don't feel like you're falling anymore. You then feel like you're part of the air, like you're just here. Cool. You're floating.
All right.
And then
Wait,
you know, they
is that a banana in your pocket is still behind you, right?
Oh, yes. Real close, right here. He's picking his head right over here.
Hey, you.
He keeps grabbing your arm, making you check your alt test.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is great now. Okay, I'm gonna wrap my head around it, I'm stop sweating, I don't feel like I'm gonna vomit, I'm flying, this is an experience, life-changing moment. And they pull the chute. They pull the chute, and then everything in here, the straps go around your leg, and they go around your waist and over your shoulders, and then they pull the chute, and that chute opens, and everything in here for the next 4 weeks is the most sore it's ever been in your whole life. Like you were riding a horse that was made of rocks for 100,000 miles over mountains. It was the worst experience. And then you're like, oh God, ah! And then you realize for the next 7,500 feet or so, you're just hanging on Uncle Bobby back here. Let's not go with Uncle.
Let's just
and then, you know, he's doing this.
Family friend.
He does the steering, and he's like, grabs your arms and just grab the pulley steering things and lets you do it. But as a joke, they do this often. They let go of one of them, and you immediately go, and it puts you in a spin, and they go, oh, I'm just kidding, and then they straighten you out, and at that point you pale out, and you feel like you're gonna vomit, and you're just praying to get on the ground. When I landed on the ground, he goes, lift up your legs. There's nothing more demasculating ever. He goes, you're attached to him, he's coming in with the thing, right? You're coming in like 30 miles an hour, and he's like, lift up your legs, and so he's running, and you're sitting on the front of him like this. And he's holding you like a baby Bjorn on the thing, and you're running, and you're paled out, and you're sweating, and as soon as he goes like this, and he sits you down, he lays you down on the floor, he unhooks you, I got up, and I was like, what's the... I broke down in rabid tears I have no idea what would happen. I didn't know I was crying because I was alive, or because I was just mounted by Uncle Bobby, I don't know what it was. And then they go, most people like to do it again right after their first time. And I went, I'm gonna get in the car, I'll see ya.
So,
worst experience ever.
To sum up, skydiving, thank you for your question. Matt Cohen, everybody, that was something.
Maybe I'll just get a tattoo and call it.
Seriously, I feel a little sick thinking about it right now.
I've never heard you that. That's a great story, though.
Yes, Matt.
My, I have to say, was just created last month when we did a bunch of international conventions, and we traveled the world from convention to convention together, and we were stuck 7 dudes in a hotel room, you know, and it was just it was like a Boy Scout sleepaway camp with some guys that I truly want to, you know, just sit down and have a talk with, not about work, or enjoy a drink that's not in between running from autographs to pictures. And it was a fantastic experience. We spent some time at a water park together, and then we had a sleepover, and we told bad jokes, and we played backgammon, and we listened to good music, and we talked about things that we needed to talk about for a long time. It was extraordinary. It made my summer. So whatever happens from here on out.
Yeah.
There's a valid point.
That's a great, yeah.
I think that's a highlight for all.
It never happens. We had a convention and then another international convention. We had a travel day with like a day off. So we spent our day off together, and we never get to, and we got this really big room, but we all roomed together, and it was It was pretty awesome.
And that literally never happens. It may seem like we travel together all the time, but to Matt's point, it's land, work, land, work. We don't land and have a day off, ever. So it was rare.
It was Jensen and Jared and us.
Very valid point.
Jason Mann.
Other great, so that, I would put that up on my list as well. For just to vary the list of answers, I would say a highlight for me was the first day I ever directed anything for the show, which was for Just My Imagination, and the first scene I directed was, well, the very first scene I directed was Jared waking up. Not dialogue heavy, just him waking up. The first big scene was in the kitchen when Sully first arrives and reveals himself to the boys. And so that was my first day directing, and so that's a near and dear moment for me. A little trivia for you about that day and how things evolve on a TV show. Dean had to walk in the room when Sam was already talking to Sully for a little bit, in case you don't remember the episode, and he can't see Sully. And he has to turn the lights on. And when he walks in the letters, that's the whole thing. He turns the lights on, and this reveal, or maybe it's Sam turns the lights on there, but he has to come in the store, lights have to be turned on, there's no light switch. And I'm like, oh, how do you guys turn on the lights in the middle letters in the kitchen? And the crew's like, yeah, there's no switch in here. I'm like, yeah, I need to turn the lights on, I need a switch here. It's like, all right. There you go, your light switch. So for those of you who pay attention to detail, which is all of you, the middle letters only has a light switch in the kitchen from Just My Imagination forward. There's no light switch in that door. Not the one that go up the stairs, but the one that leads in the hallway. You'll notice, me, no way to turn the lights. Post me, very convenient way to turn on the lights. So, you're welcome, Sam and Dean.
It's funny, that's amazing. My first thought was that when you do theater, especially when it's sort of like, this 100-seat theater, you know how you just kind of fake turning it on when you walk in the room, you just like do that with your hand, just touch the wall, the lights go on. I was like, hey, why don't you just do that? It's TV.
They'll see it. Yeah. Or something's got like very, very, very sensitive wiring.
Yeah.
Well, I thought for sure you were gonna say, oh, Jensen would walk in and he's like, oh, I got this, guys. Let me just run with it. And he walks in and he's like,
Yeah. I'm sure that's what he would have done. I have no doubt. I have no doubt that's what he would have done.
that was gonna be his move.
They have the clapper in the kitchen.
So I'll leave that as one of my highlight days.
That's awesome. I was gonna say also directing yourself, fighting yourself.
That was. Yeah,
that was the highlight for me on Supernatural, watching somebody do that.
Fight himself, like directed by himself.
Me directing me to kick my own ass. Yeah, a lot of people dream that.
I can't believe
I know, can you imagine? Hit yourself harder, in the face.
For me, I think one of my favorite moments ever in acting is the scene where I got to sing fairly well. A real spiritual experience with Curtis, and everybody was there, the crew was there. It was just a really amazing experience, and we only did one full take of it, and afterwards everybody was like, yeah, it was just great.
I think you might need to come to Saturday Night Special to hear that. That's what I think. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm Alexa. Thank you for making my first Congress.
Alexa, play Carry On My Wayward Son. Nothing? Rich? Nothing?
No, you said great timing. Stunning timing.
My question is for Rob. How does it feel to be the final big bad?
I'm kind of excited. Let's be honest. Look, it makes sense to me what they're doing, and I'm super excited about this final season, what they're setting up. It makes sense to me that as the sort of writer of the show, he should be the one to come and go, all right, show's over. And to see how it's going to all play out, I can't wait. And as an actor, it's just super fun to play.
Are you feeling pressure? Because it's a tremendous amount of pressure.
Only from you in order to bring Gabriel back. I feel a lot of pressure.
Oh, I'm just saying. Because I think it would be a travesty. A travesty. Cue the music, please. It would be a travesty if this series ended and we weren't given, we as fans, we as family, we as a collective, if we weren't given the episode we've craved for nigh on a decade at least, one that features Chuck, Gabriel, and Mike together on screen, doing what they do, whatever that is, an episode of TV. I feel like the story would be underserved. I feel like the fans would be unsatisfied. I feel like it would be a travesty if they don't take advantage. I was looking for you for the cue to go into the. Really, I was going heartfelt, then we got action. I came down some action to it. All right. It's all right, sure, I like this better. It's not touching, it's we're together.
Anyway, I'm super excited about the final season. I think that the writers are gonna really pull out all the stops, and I think we're all gonna be really, I'm excited, and I think we're all gonna be pleased with what they do. So I'm excited to see.
Thank you.
What's your favorite line that your character has said in Supernatural?
Favorite line my character said to the actual.
I'll just start where you guys think. I'll say it really slow so you have more time to think. Shut up, all of you. Do you need more time?
No, okay.
Or so help me answer this part. And then I also like when I got to walk up to Jensen and tell him free will was an illusion. That just rings true into all worlds, I think. So those are my favorite.
Lucifer, you're my brother and I love you. But you are a great big bag of dicks.
That's a good one.
Hoard toilet paper. Hoard it like it's gold.
Also a good one.
What's that got to do with how to get away with murder?
Yeah. Go with the segue.
Okay, smooth. What is it?
Let's do our. I think we're just want to know our stripper name.
But you're doing porno name. That's
I know, but couldn't I use my porno name?
No, I didn't make a new question. You can't recycle old material.
Right, that's all I do.
Yeah, something fresh, something new. For once, let's do something different.
Let's do something different and come up with new answers.
Yeah, go. Moment.
So who? All right. Stripper name.
Let's say it's one. Usually it's one name, right?
Right.
Like, ladies and gentlemen, here he is. I feel like Fireball.
Training from Tennessee and lover of moon pies.
Put your hands together for Fireball.
Fireball? That's me?
No. I still think it's the board.
Hairpiece.
Hairpiece.
Let's bring out Merkin.
Hey, Tricky Dick.
Tricky Dick.
Tricky Dick.
Tricky Dick.
Tricky Dick.
But the thing is, when your name is already genitals, it's too easy.
No.
It's like it's low-hanging fruit. In fact, low-hanging fruit, everybody. Maybe that's my
I feel like you're bored with it, so...
I can just see the ladies running. Oh, I'll have a lap. Low-hanging fruit. I'll have a lap.
I think Matt Cohen's here.
And here comes put a dollar in it. Have to lean down. Here, put it in my song, okay?
I think Matt's stripper name is just Matt Cohen. I mean, because that would bring all the ladies to the house.
No.
They call me the Magic Magician.
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 And it's always a coincidence.
Coincidence.
This is... I don't want to ever go to the script.
I like extra cheese on my jokes.
All right.